What is up, Tiger fans? Welcome back to the channel. Clemson makes it 7 in a row against the South Carolina Gamecocks after last night's 30-0 shutout victory over South Carolina. So, this is the 22nd time in series history that Clemson has shut out Carolina. Clemson, they're currently on a huge win streak against the Gamecocks. And, right now it's going well, 7-game win streak, and Clemson playing some solid football here at the end of the season. But, of course, this rivalry, it's huge. It's the Palmetto Bowl, the battle for the state of South Carolina, and the Tigers, they came out victorious. Let's get into the actual game. So, on defense, I want to start with the defense because they played so well in this game. They held South Carolina to 206 total yards and only 43 rushing yards. And that's pretty big because coming into this game, I was a little worried about guys like Zaquandre White making an impact for the Gamecocks on the ground, but luckily Clemson was able to shut him down, 7 carries, 22 yards. Kevin Harris couldn't get anything going. South Carolina realized early on that they could not run the ball on that defensive front. And the secondary played really well as well. South Carolina was struggling to move the ball. Zeb Nolan came in late in the game, and he got some passes off. But that stuff was late in the game. South Carolina, they could not get anything going on offense. The Clemson defense played so well. Only 1 sack on the night, but there were a lot of negative yardage plays for Carolina and a lot of short plays, just not a lot of yardage for the Gamecocks on the night, and that's reflected in the final score, 30-0. 5.9 yards per play for the Tigers, 3.3 for the Gamecocks. So now looking at that Clemson offense, the running backs were great. They rushed for over 300 yards last week against Wake Forest. And in this performance, it was another strong showing from Will Shipley and Kobe Pace. Those two combined for near 200 yards. And Shipley, Pace, and Phil Maffa all scored a touchdown in this game. DJ Uiagalelei, 5 carries for 33 yards. Shipley, 19 for 128. Kobe Pace, 7 for 58. And Phil Maffa, 11 carries for 43 yards. Also got Darian Rencher in there at the end of the game, which was kind of fun. But Clemson, they played really well. The offensive line was great. And that's something that you really want to see from Clemson because the offensive line has been so inconsistent this year in pass blocking, but also the run blocking. So I was really happy to see the offensive line have this type of performance. And it was a strong game overall. It was a clean game, only 5 penalties on the Tigers. And there just weren't a bunch of really bad plays. But the passing game, something has to change. Clemson won't be playing in the ACC championships. The Tigers just have 1 game left this season that will be in a bowl game. And we'll talk a little bit more about what Clemson looks like heading into the bowl season. But this passing offense, they've got to do something this offseason. Tony Elliott, Brandon Streeter, these guys have to figure something out. The receivers dropped a couple passes, and, DJ, honestly, I thought that DJ didn't make a ton of mistakes. The interception was bad, thrown down the field. It was just not a great pass. There were some passes that DJ could have thrown better, but overall, the receivers didn't help him out a ton. Bo Collins just wasn't playing very well. Dakari Collins had the one nice catch, though, and Will Brown got open for a big play, but there was no Davis Allen in this game, and just really a lack of passing production, but I'm not going to complain after a 30-0 victory against the in-state rival South Carolina Gamecocks. I'm really happy with the way that this game went. I thought, once again, overall, very strong game, but passing game is definitely something to worry about. And if Clemson plays a strong defensive team in their bowl game, it's going to be tough because that run game, eventually people are just going to go all out, and Clemson's going to have to throw the football. And this game really did not show us anything, but DJ Uiagalelei, one positive that I do want to point out for DJ's game is that he was able to get out of the pocket, and he's able to make plays on the run, whether it's running or just throwing the football away and not taking a negative yardage play or even worse, an interception. So I was happy with that portion of DJ's game. Being smart, getting out of the pocket, which is just something that he hasn't done a ton this year. So I was a little impressed with that. Defensively, though, this team is still a defense-heavy team. They're going to play defense. They're going to run the football effectively as long as the offensive line plays well, and they played really well in this game. But Clemson wants to slow the game down, and they don't want to have to pass. and they didn't have to in this game, and that's why the Tigers had so much success. B.T. Potter was excellent kicking the football. He was 3 of 3 on field goal attempts and had a 49-yard kick. Will Spires, he did struggle, but the defense stepped up. They had his back. He's had a really good career at Clemson. Had an off night, though, but the defense, they had his back. Defensively, so good against the pass, amazing against the run, and just overall, very good game for the Tigers. Very happy that Clemson was able to hold on. There was a lot of people expecting Carolina to keep this one really, really close, or potentially even win the game. Clemson, it's been a down year of sorts, but Clemson still finishes with a 9-3 record, and they're putting themselves in position to potentially have another 10-win season. And, down year, say what you want. Clemson didn't make the ACC championship, doesn't have a shot at the playoffs, but Clemson has a chance to win 10 games this year, and I think even the 9 wins is a huge accomplishment based on everything that has went on this year. So, really proud of this team for fighting through and picking up a win in one of their biggest games of the year. This is always a big game, beating your in-state rival. But Clemson, 7 in a row against the South Carolina Gamecocks. Thank you guys for watching the video. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed, and let me know your thoughts on the game in the comments. Want to know what you guys observed, what you guys saw out there. Clemson, once again, champions of the state. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Go Tigers.